Welcome back everyone to another installment of the Chief Lego Fanatic. Today we are going to be putting together the newest set in the Ultimate Collector Series Star Wars set, the AT-AT. And it's set number 75313, 6,785 pieces. Let's go.
Everything is awesome.
Alright, so you guys got a nice little preview, went over the box. As you can see, the pieces themselves are broken up into these really neat 4 boxes. That's something Lego started doing with a lot of the larger sets, like the Coliseum set had the same thing. Also, another thing that Lego started doing that I really like is the individual cardboard boxes for the instructions. It helps to keep them nice and flat. And then we have the first of what I assume is 4 instruction booklets. Only has 4 sets of bags, so not a whole lot to it. The pictures on the boxes shows it's basically the upper parts of the legs and then this part here. Flipping through it, I assume that the inventory for the full set is actually in the last part of the last bag, or the last set of instructions. This shows how the mobility in some of the legs, obviously it shows what you're actually building. Looks like there's 200 and some change steps in this part. Let's see what's in the beginning. Yep, so it shows 1 through 4, what you're actually building. Not a whole lot, it's not very detailed at this point. It's neat, it actually shows you the proper ways to pick up the set and the proper ways to model it so that the set doesn't fall apart. There's a couple sets that they've had to do that. It talks about the actual model itself of what you're building. So AT-AT actually stands for All-Terrain Armored Transport. I did not know that. Learn something new every day. And it's actually displayed in a couple of different languages. I'd be surprised, or I would not be surprised if there's more little tidbits of knowledge throughout the instructions. So let's get going. So here we go. This set is a whole lot of Technic, as you can see. This is actually going at 45 times normal speed in order to condense the 6 hours or so of build time into a shorter time frame. Yeah, you can see the beginnings of the base there. Some more parts of the base. Pretty much the whole first, and I believe the second bag is nothing but building up the base. As you can see, it started to add the curved edges for the top. Add the rounded pieces for the insides of the legs. This is building the undercarriage of the AT-AT. It doesn't go together very well. The connection into the bottom of the base is super sturdy. Yeah, there I am fighting, trying to get it to stick in. Yep, still trying to fight it, get it to go in. When I display it at the end of this video, it actually falls out. And this is the front and back. Screwed up a couple pieces, had some extra pieces left over, had to go back and figure out where I needed to put them. Yeah, some more. So basically getting ready to build the 2 of the first legs, or the first 2 legs. You can see the orange piece in my hand there. starting on the second leg, and of course, couldn't find a piece. It turns out I'd actually put it onto the other leg. Unfortunately, it was one of those pieces you can just skip over and come back to in a little while, which happens on occasion. Start getting to the end. These are a giant pain in the butt to put on. I realized I had some extra pieces, built a little screwdriver. There's actually a gear that I had left out. I learned that lesson for the second set of legs. And the second set of legs are carbon copies of the first set, except instead of the center pieces being orange, they're white. And pretty much just all technique. This time, instead of doing one leg and then the other, I'm building both of them simultaneously. Try to save a little bit of time. Like I said, these are a giant pain in the butt to put onto the actual set itself. There's like 7 pins that you have to line up perfectly to get it to work. Here we go. Alright, so I just finished the first box. Finish up this set of instructions. I think I'm probably going to end up turning this into a 2-part video because I'm already at about 2.5 hours, 3 hours of build time just on the one box. That's still at 3 more to go. So you can kind of see this is the base and the tops of the legs. Now you build this thing and it actually shows you at the end what it is, but you don't really figure it out until they show you. What the heck is this thing? So a neat thing that this set has is there's a set of gears in the legs that kind of help to keep them in position. And you actually use this as effectively a screwdriver, and it actually use it to change the position of the legs. So I think that's pretty neat. It'll help keep it stable once it's actually built, because this is based just on this section. Oops! Didn't mean for that to happen. It's not really secured all that well. But based just on this section, this is going to be pretty tall. So it makes sense that they would want to do something to add a little bit of stability to it. So let's get on to box number 2. All right, now I'm putting back the part that came apart. Breaking out all the pieces. There's 3 sets of bags in this one. Flip through the instruction booklet here. It's pretty simple. You're just building the same 4 things. It starts off with the very bottom of the feet, then the upper part of the feet, and then the lower part of the leg, and connect them all together. When you get to the front of the instruction booklet, there's some more information about the set itself, how they designed it, about the AT-AT, how the Technic pieces work so that you can model the legs and whatnot. Yep, and see, just building the same thing 4 times. Here we go. So the feet themselves are pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of Technic pieces. They're actual normal Lego pieces, I guess is the way to phrase it. Basically, I'm building it page by page, so I'll complete all the sets that are on a page for each of the 4 feet, and then move on to the next page, unless for some strange reason I can't find a part, and then I'll skip one and I'll come back to it, which you'll see later on when we get to the legs. Yep, so feet, building little panels to put on the sides that actually make them look round. You can see right there, you had to build 16 of them, 4 for each foot. The next part are the gears that make the arches that kind of make the ankles. Those are a giant pain in the butt because they're actual Technic pieces that you actually have to make sure they're oriented properly. Yeah, you can see them there. Oh, now we set the feet off to the side. Yep, move them out of the way so you can actually see. Now we're building the lower parts of the legs, and like I said earlier, I'm building it page by page. So I'll do all of the parts for, or the whole page for all 4 legs, and then move on to the next page. As much as sometimes I abhor doing the same step over and over and over again, or repetitively, this is actually a pretty convenient way to knock these out. At some point in time in here, you'll see me only start working on 3 legs because there was one piece that I couldn't find. It's about right here. And then eventually, once I've used up enough of the other pieces, I'm able to track it down. Yeah, so the legs, again, it's pretty much all Technic pieces, and then it's Lego, typical Lego blocks or flat panels put over it to actually make the details. So you can see the little things sticking up from the legs there. Those actually connect to the bars that are currently on the feet. It's a pretty iconic fixture of the AT&T. Yep, you can see how they go there. Now we're going to start building the panels that are going to go on the outsides of those. Once I actually connect it to the set that was built last. Yep, there we go. You'll see the legs fall down a bunch. They're kind of a pain. The instructions actually show it sitting like that when you're putting all these pieces on, which probably would have been smarter. Well, this is the finish line of the second box. Until how tall this is going to be, this table's about 4.5 feet off the ground. So that's 1.5 feet, almost 2 feet, just from the legs. The body isn't, well, the body might be the same height again. Maybe not, might be a little significantly shorter based upon that picture, but definitely gonna have to split this into 2 videos because I'm only about halfway through and I'm about 6 hours worth of build time in. This tool that they have you build is super useful though for adjusting how you want the legs to go. As you can see, I did this one so it comes closer to the camera. Yeah. You can see it allows you to pose it and it'll actually stay there. And then it has a little bit of gearage here in the foot, so the foot actually moves. So yeah, hopefully I can get this finished by end of the week and get the second part into a video. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, share. I know this is going to be a pretty popular set. I'm enjoying building it thus far, and I look forward to doing the rest. We'll see how it all goes together in the end. I'll see you guys next time.